So I could have left those in the truck, huh?
It's my oldest grandson. What he
Bless you.
was, probably 6'2" now.
Everybody get your little remotes out.
So he's still playing with this. And it's wing something.
Huh?
Okay.
Feel like somebody's wagering tonight.
So he was playing post, 5'5". Senior year.
Don't want that right in front of you. I get it. All right. Welcome to the January 27th, 2026 City of North Platte Planning Commission meeting. First item on the agenda tonight is roll call.
Davies.
Here.
McCune.
Here.
Matthews. Here. Bain.
Here.
Fudge.
Here.
Jett.
Here.
Forbes. Here. Whirl. And Van Velsen.
Yep.
Quorum is present.
Current copy of the Opens Meeting Act of the State of Nebraska is on the wall back there. You can refer to it at any time for all of you in the audience tonight. Item number 2, approved minutes from the November 25th, 2025 meeting. It's been a hot minute since we've been together. I assume you've read all these and have been paying very close attention to them.
I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Bain, seconded by Davies to approve the minutes as presented. Any discussion on that matter? Michelle, please. Our notebooks aren't here tonight.
Oh, they are.
No, I did it once.
Emily's not here.
Okay, there it went.
And the minutes are approved. Item number 3, file number SU26-001, discussion, consider action on application by Zeller Classic Rentals LLC for preliminary and final approval of Zeller Second Subdivision located at 1501 East 2nd Street in an I-1 light industrial district on property described as Lot 39, Neville Subdivision, North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska. Judy.
Okay, and you should have all received a copy of the preliminary plat and the final plat. The subdivision will split one lot into 2 lots. Both lots do have access to city utilities, and a petition for paving has been filed with all neighboring property owners opposed to the paving. And that was for paving on the north on 13th Street. So pretty simple, just a lot split. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Jeff.
I was just gonna say, you said 2nd Street. Yeah.
I'm sorry, 12th Street. Appears to be a ruckus in the hallway. Questions, comments, concerns?
I move to make a recommendation to approve file number SU26-001 preliminary and final approval of Zeller Second Subdivision.
Second.
Motion by Jett, seconded by Davies, I do believe. Nope, sorry, Kurt, sorry. To approve as presented. Any more discussion? Not, Michelle, please. And the motion is approved.
Okay, that will go to the city council meeting on February 3rd.
Item number 4, discuss possible updates to North Platte City Code of Ordinances regarding utility extensions, annexations, and small-scale cell towers.
And I forgot the one about food vendors, but that's also in here. So this is food vendors. So this isn't anything that we're going to act on. The city attorney hasn't reviewed any of it, so I'm sure there'll be lots of changes. But the first one kind of came about. The Parks Department reached out to me to see if we could get some regulations for food vendors. I like to take the shortcut, so we just talked about keeping them out of city parks. Do you want to talk about that one more?
Yeah, so we've been talking about this one for a little while actually, and so in regulating food trucks, it's actually a little bit more complicated, just because the state of Nebraska has a process that you have to go through in order to regulate them, and so there are certain requirements and checks that we have to check off the box if we're going to modify our ordinances so that it all complies with state statutes. So I have some drafts that I had an associate in my office put together a little while ago, and so I'm kind of going through those. So I'm anticipating that I think for purposes of today, we're just looking for maybe more of a general discussion as to whether we think it would be a good idea to regulate the food trucks, whether we should continue down this path to bring some proposed changes to the city code to everybody to look through and to have more public input on it. But that's what I'm looking
Yep.
for, I guess, today is just kind of more input from all of you to see if we could continue down that path, or if it's something that shouldn't be regulated at all. I think some of what we're hearing in City Hall is that there's started to be more out-of-state food trucks that have started to come through that maybe don't have anybody checking to make sure that that they have the proper things in place from our health department, and so we've heard some of that from maybe more of the local food trucks, but then also, like Judy said, from the Parks Department, maybe not the best to allow them within the city parks unless we know who they are and what they're doing.
So do we have them showing up that don't, because all food trucks in Nebraska are required to have a certificate from the Department of Health, basically. So, or do we have them showing up in our community that don't have that?
I mean, I don't know that we can say. There've maybe been some complaints that at least that I'm aware of, but nothing more than a complaint. So we could always do some more checking with the police department and places like that might have more solid information. But part of the question is, who would go out and check on it?
Right.
Who's gonna go check?
Well,
Or maybe they should have to check in when they're coming to town and show their credentials
Sure.
Put it on
and
the
submit the dates they're gonna be here,
That's basically like it.
and basically get a weekend permit or whatever they need as they're going through.
well, when anybody brings, like when Nebraska Land Days would bring a carnival in, it would be similar to that, where we were responsible for going to the city and getting the permit for the carnival, and then that would notify the police that they were going to have such a facility on site. They would come out, do the inspection prior to the carnival being allowed to open. I could see something similar being kind of a handy process for here.
But there's usually not a sponsor for an out-of-state food truck.
Correct.
And that's where some of the state statutes talk about being able, for the city being able to enter into like an interlocal agreement with another agency. I'm thinking like the health department, that would be more equipped to be able to go in and do inspections of that nature, because we don't have anybody on staff that would be trained to be able to do something like that.
One of the biggest complaints I get is somebody parking in an alley or parking in a street or parking in a city park. So typically when they come in and ask me what they need to do, I tell them, don't park in any type of public right of way. But again, who's out there checking that, enforcing it?
I think too, from the Downtown Association perspective, which I'm on that board, there's been incidents where they'll just pull up on the side of the road, like in a parking space, that sort of thing. And then they end up competing with some of the, restaurants downtown, but they might not be licensed to do so. So I think having some regulation or whatever you might want to call it in place is good. We may not be able to check every single one, but I bet the competitors would check and have an opportunity to turn them in. Or
I like the idea, though, at last I knew there was a food inspector that was based here, and a state food inspector that was based here that maybe we could enter into a
Sure.
local agreement with, and they're certainly equipped to go out and do those inspections and do those things.
They do, they inspect when you, prime rib feed.
Oh, yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they're,
They inspect the bank periodically when we're doing events. So, they would, I agree with you. That seems to make a lot of sense to me.
Well, I was gonna ask if there is a health inspector in here. If there's one stationed here, then yeah, that'd be a great way to do it.
Exactly.
I had a question about when the downtown has music on the bricks and there's vendors. Are they licensed? I don't know, I don't remember if any of them were food vendors, but
Yeah, there were some food vendors down there. Did they have to get a permit or a license or anything for music on the bricks?
As far as the city, and correct me if I'm wrong, we don't have any required permits.
So would they have to even get permission from whoever's putting on the bricks?
see,
Music
then
on
maybe the
Yeah.
music on the bricks would be the sponsor to get those opened up, because they know they're coming, they've requested they come.
So they save them a space or whatever,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they know they're coming.
That would be that would be similar to the way we used to behave out there. We knew
Right.
we were having an event, we needed
Right.
X number of vendors.
So like arts in the parks and things like
Yeah.
that at Cody Park would follow under the same rules.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
That they could come in and apply for, but they'd still need to be inspected.
Correct.
So, yes, so once the food truck was on site, first we required them to have I believe there's a license that they have to get annually from the state of Nebraska. We required that, and then we required them to be inspected by the health inspector before they were opening. So I would think some sort of language that does the same thing for us as a municipality would be wise.
And what about the location? Can we have them get approval from a policeman for the location, that they're not in a public right of way?
I can look into it. I haven't dug as far into what all we can do as I would have hoped for this conversation, but I can keep looking into it and see, because obviously when the state says this is what you can do, we have some pretty strict parameters as to what we can and cannot put into the city code.
So if they weren't invited for an event and they just wanted to come to town and open a vagrant taco stand, then they would still have to go to the city health department and get that.
I would think
approval?
they would still need
License?
a license from the state of Nebraska, and they would still need to be inspected by whoever we designate to do
Yeah,
that
your
inspection.
designated thing. And then again, I still think maybe with it that we put some teeth into the ordinance that says they can't be in the city right of way, can't be on city property or city right of way without.
One of the most common ones I see all the time is like at, I think Tractor Supply, there's one there periodically, and it's on private property, right? So, I mean, that doesn't bother me. I don't even know that I'm necessarily opposed to certain periods of time where you could put them in a city park. We see that a lot in larger cities where
Yeah.
they have public space for food truck days or whatever, but,
Let
And
your-
food
let your
trucks
Parks
are-
Department be the sponsoring entity then, and bring them in and get
right.
recruit the ones they want. Yeah, so what if it's on public, it's on private, down at the auto parts store there across from Kane's.
Yes.
There's one that's there periodically.
Yeah, coffee truck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they'd need their license and they'd need to check in with the health inspector?
Or on that one where it's based locally, I would imagine once they've been inspected by the health inspector, they're probably good for a period of time. I think that's
Or an
typically the way
annual,
those work.
annual, semi, whatever.
That's what my question is, like, the fish truck, you know, when it comes
Yeah.
every month, 2 months, 3 months, they wouldn't need to be inspected every.
I don't,
Right,
I think
they're
that's accurate.
inspected that one
We
time.
used to work with a handful of those food trucks that would work Nebraska events. And the health inspector would show up, but she'd basically wave at the people she knew and went on by.
Wow.
I'm gonna say, they have started putting their certificate.
In the
where you can
window.
see it,
Yes.
Yeah,
because They didn't used to do that, and I know the one
right.
before they left Baumgars, you can now see their certificate in
Yeah.
that window, so. Wonder if they-
Publicly
yeah.
displayed.
Publicly
Yeah,
displayed
it was-
certificate
yeah,
by
it
the
was-
state.
It was
Yeah.
big right there that you can see that certificate. So-
Well, and I don't mean to cut anybody off, but what I'm hearing is we'll get a draft of some proposals out to everybody, and maybe we can take that up next month.
Yeah.
And look at it a little bit further.
Thank you.
Before I went to all that effort, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
that
No, I think you're absolutely right, Pat. And
Now
the
you
rest,
have some input.
The
And-
rest of these on here, all have to do with, essentially annexation. So after our last big annexation and we were here for hours, I kind of went through and kind of thought, there's got to be an easier way to do this. They've already got water, they've already got sewer. So I got to talking to some other cities about, if they request extension of sewer or extension of water, can we make them request annexation? Now, they might not be eligible for annexation because they might be, too far away from the city limit line. But if there was a way that we could say, if you request this, you're requesting annexation. We do that with subdivisions that are abutting city limits. We now require them, or we have for years required them to at least request annexation. So I just thought, why can't we do that with, if they request these other services, let's just have them do that. That way we have a friendly annexation. Now, the thing I'm not really worried about it, but I'm trying to figure out, so if they are, 2 blocks over from being eligible to be annexed, if we have that letter that says, I request to be annexed, when they become eligible, if we could just go ahead and do that.
Automatically does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what the rest of these are. And I was trying to figure out, and Bill's going to have to take a look at this too, where to put it in our code so that we don't have to change it. If something updates, we need to change it. So that's kind of where I was going with that. What do you guys think about something
Lovely
like that?
idea.
I like that a
great.
lot.
Great idea.
It's fairly simple feedback.
Okay,
Get her
so
done.
onward and
It
upward.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we do have, and I don't have any regulations on these small scale cell towers. There are some of those that have been coming in, and the FCC regulates cell towers, which we are fully aware of. These small scale ones are some that are basically less than 50 feet in height. And from what I read, and I don't know if Bill's interpretation is that, but FCC essentially says if it's in the city right away, you have to let them do it. So like in an alley, in the right of way of a road.
Would these be what I'm starting to see on city light poles?
Yes.
Those things go.
Yeah, those are co-location. Yeah, but some of them are actually doing freestanding.
Oh, okay.
And so,
Like the one that went behind on B and
yes,
down behind the,
It's high school there.
Yeah.
behind the high school, whatever that pet store is.
Yep.
Used to be annexed to the Westfield.
yeah. And we, from what I read in state statutes, we really can't do a whole lot about it, but we still need to be able to protect our infrastructure, protect our streets, our roads, clear vision, sight, those types of things. And so I looked at, I think Kearney, they have one, but it's like 6 pages long. And so I think I gave that to Bill and said, I don't want to do that.
And I haven't looked into the regulations. I've reviewed the state statute that does allow us, I would read it a little more broadly than what Judy has read it, which it does allow us to provide some regulation for it. So, but it's all subject to state and federal kind of regulations as well.
How would you control those regulations, permitting again?
And right now, since we don't have the regulations in there, we do require that they get right-of-way permits so we can actually see where they're going. One of them, I think that one there wanted to locate essentially right on top of one of our power line areas, and we couldn't allow them to do that, so we made them move like a few feet one way or the other. So,
All before you dig.
yeah, exactly.
Does it make any difference if it goes on top of a building? Rather than on a street
We've
location?
got one on top of a building.
I'm trying to think where it was. I've seen.
Well,
them.
it's on like a municipal light and water building
One up there
somewhere.
on Poplar.
Yeah, but they have, yeah, and that one I think was done by a conditional use quite some time ago. So, yeah, it would just depend, I guess, on the situation. But so onward and upward.
There you go.
Okay.
We'll keep digging into that one too.
Okay. Any other comments or discussion on that item? Not, we'll wait for the recommendations to come from city staff and deal with it when we can. Item number 5, election of officers. Do we have to do this again?
Yep. Every year.
I think David's doing a great job.
Okay, you just got a motion.
Second.
Motion by Forbes, seconded by Van Velsen to leave it as it is. That would be Fudge Chair, Jet Vice we talked about appointing a secretary at some point in time because every now and again, both of us are gone.
We haven't had that for a
It,
while.
yeah, it has been a while.
And I think it did come up, but I think, well, this
I stepped
board
in.
or, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we did is we had.
Just nominated somebody to
had
step
him
in.
Nominated
I
to
think
run the meeting.
Okay. As long as we have a mechanism for it.
Yeah.
All right.
We limped along, but we figured it out.
Yeah. A chairman pro temp or something.
It
Yeah.
worked out.
All right. Any discussion on that matter? Not, Michelle, please. I will abstain.
Have to.
Yeah.
Voting against yourself, that's everything.
Yeah. Item,
We should have voted no.
yeah, go for it.
So you can go home and say, I didn't vote.
I didn't vote for this. Item number 6, old business. Anything for the, for discussion here?
Not on old business.
Item number 7, new business.
I just got 2 things. I'll be really quick. One is the City Historic Preservation Commission got a grant to do another historic building survey.
Yeah, we
This-
did.
The state, yeah, I was trying to think somebody was on here. So the state, essentially, it's not going to cost the city any funding because their time as a commission can count for funding of that. But just kind of wanted to let you know it won't come in front of this board. It's going to be, they've already selected a consultant, so the award of the contract to the consultant will be on the city council's agenda. Just kind of wanted to make you aware of it, but there's no requirement that you guys have to approve it. So
Okay.
just wanted to let you know of that. And the second thing is the NPZA annual conference is March 3rd through the 6th. I sent everybody out an email on that. So if you're interested, you want to go, let me know. You'll have to make your own hotel arrangements if you do decide to go down and stay. I will register you for the actual conference, so let me know if you want to go to the conference. And your hotel accommodations, you'll just have to submit for reimbursement if you decide to go. It is a great conference. There's a lot on it, so. In Kearney, yep. Kearney at the Conference Center North, Yones Conference Center North. They are full.
Across the street, kid.
There you go. All right.
So, yep.
Any other new business? If not, ladies and gents, we are adjourned.
Perfect.
Go watch the basketball game. Go Huskers.
All right.
Yeah, they're in Michigan, right?